All right, shalom, shalom. I'm going to start off this video giving our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the great millstone that rule well and teach well while learning truth, 100% according to the Bible. And I also want to say shalom to the elect, the 144,000, the men, prophet, service, scattered abroad, the four corners of the earth. And shalom to you, Akwatium, which are you few sisters out there, Levas, and seeing your children, shalom. And in today's video is going to be titled "The Plagues Draw Nigh and Are Not Slack." And it's ultimately going to be building off of this article that I have on the current news of what you have going on. And I'm actually get straight into it. You see, it says world's most contagious virus, right, detected at two major U.S. airports amid holiday traffic. You see, and I'm actually read on down a little bit more. It says during peak holiday travel, one of the most infectious diseases was detected at Newark Liberty International Airport in New Jersey. You see, it said a case of measles was identified in a passenger at terminals B and C on December the 12th, according to a New Jersey Department of Health press release. You see, and we know that ultimately these are part of those plagues that Yahweh Shem Shai is going to send upon the earth in these latter days. Because we know that the Lord said that, ultimately leading up to his second coming, you're going to have all of these things happening, man. All of these things that are occurring are the signs that we're in these times, man, of all of these, plagues and evils ultimately getting ready to manifest, man. And we're seeing that through everything that's ultimately happening, right? And I'm actually go to St. Matthew chapter 24, you see, because like I said, Lord Yahweh Shai, he said these things over 2,000 years ago that this will be happening in the latter days. And we're in that time and we're seeing these things happening. And it's going to get worse, So this is Matthew chapter 24, and I start at verse 3. It said, "And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?" Right? And when you go into that word world in the Greek, it goes into aeon, which is ultimately a period of time or an age. And we're coming to the end of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man's rulership. We're coming to the end of him ruling the earth. You see, because we know that the earth is given over into the hand of the wicked, as it tells you in Job 9:24. And that's ultimately why we see all of these things occurring throughout planet earth, because we're in those times, man, of the end, you see, of this world, this age, this current rulership, you see. So I'm going to get back into it. It says, verse 4, Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet, you see. And we see all of those things in which I just read happening all throughout the four corners of the earth now. You see, you got the wars, the rumors of wars happening. But as I just read, all of these things are happening, but the end is not yet, because we know that there's still prophecies that has to come to pass before ultimately the end can be ultimately brought forth, right? Which the main prophecies are, the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast, Jacob's trouble, which we're already in the beginning stages of that, and World War III ultimately escalating to the level it's going to get to, you see. But this is the point of where I wanted to get to. This is verse 7. It says, For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines, right? And pestilences, right? And earthquakes in diverse places. Verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows, you see. So these are only the beginning of sorrows, man. You see that everything that we're ultimately seeing take place throughout the four corners of the earth with all of these different viruses that are coming out that, people are ultimately, seeing and what's coming out of the woodworks or whatnot. Hey, these things are only the beginning, as the scriptures have said. Because, hey, things is only going to get worse, man, from here on out. You see, we're only going to continue to keep seeing these plagues and these different evils just manifesting themselves in these times, man. You see, as it tells us right here, I'm going to go to 2nd Esdras chapter 14. And I'll start at verse 16. You see, it says, For yet greater evils, and that word evils in the Hebrew goes into rayam, which are bad times. Right. So it says, for yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. Right. So each day that goes by, we're just going to continue to see things escalating more and more. You see, because you got people bugging out now about all of the things that are happening, with the wars that are going on and all of the inflation and people not being able to afford food, groceries, because of, ultimately the price of things here in Babylon the Great. But hey, the Lord is going to, continue to smite this place with plagues, man. You see. But this is verse 17. It says, For look how much the world shall be weakened through age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. And this is ultimately talking about the people that dwell within the earth, because ultimately we're living in a time of judgment. That's why we're seeing all of these evils manifest in these times. That's why we're seeing the Lord plaguing this earth, man. And you seeing all of these bad things just constantly arising and coming up. You see, because it's the Lord that's ultimately bringing forward these things, man. And I just want to go to a precept just to prove that real quick through the Spirit. I'm going to go to Amos chapter 3, and I'll start at verse 6, right? It says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid, right? And that trumpet represents the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua that's going out of the mouth of his prophets, his men that he have set up, starting out with the elder apostles and the elder bishops, a great millstone that are ultimately warning you so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Indians that we're living in the time of evil and ultimately to be seeking the Lord, man, because, hey, things ain't going to get back to normal like most people would like to believe in their mind. You see, the only thing we're going to continue to see happening is things are going to get worse and worse. As I brought out in that second address, man, greater evils are coming. That's the time we living in, man. You see, that's what we're sent here to warn you and to tell you about, man. Right? As it tells us in Jeremiah 28:8, that the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesies both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war, evil, and pestilence, man. These are the things that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is bringing down the pipeline. You see? So I'm going to finish reading. It says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? Shall it be evil in the city and the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua have not done it? You see? So like I said, all of these plagues and all of these various different types of things that are, manifesting themselves in these times is all being brought forth by the Lord, man. And like I said, these things are going to increase. As I read earlier, we're in the beginning of sorrows, man. And I'm actually look up the meaning to that word, plagues, right? Because I actually said, that these are the plagues that the Lord is bringing to the earth, man, these pestilences, and it's going to grow. You're going to have famine. Those are part of the plagues. You see all type of various things in which the Lord is going to, bring forward in these latter days, man. You see? But this is the meaning to the word plague on the AI overview on Google. And when you go down to it, it says a contagious bacterial disease characterized by fever and delirium, typically with the formation of boils, right? Or the bubonic plague, and sometimes infection of the lungs, right? So basically a plague is just a sickness, but it also has multiple meanings, which actually I'm gonna go down into the similar meanings and get some few more words for it, right? It goes into also afflict, right? Trouble and torment. You see? Yeah, man. And we're definitely living in a time of trouble, man. And that's why you're going to continue to have these things occurring and happening, man. And like I said, it's only going to get worse. You see? Let me actually go to, I'm going to go to 2nd Esdras chapter 15 real quickly. I'll go to that. And I'll actually start at verse 5 and I'll just go down in the spirit, It says, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world. And part of those plagues, as I've said, are sicknesses, diseases, pestilences, viruses, infections, all of these various things that are ultimately manifesting here in these times, man. You see, the Lord is bringing all of these things down the pipeline, man. It says, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction, all of the things that are going to come in these latter days. It says, verse 6, right? It lets you know why the Lord is going to bring these things. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled, man. Yeah, I mean, just look at everything that goes on here in this place, America alone. All of the wickedness that goes on in this place, everything that you see in this place, it all goes against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. The lifestyles that these people live, everything that's pushed in this society. A man can be a woman can be a man, children being over the parents. You see? This place is through, man. This place is wicked as hell, man. And that's why Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is plaguing this place, man. And that's why this place is only going to continue to go through more hardship and more turmoil, man. You see, the Lord is going to keep plaguing this place ultimately till he destroys it, man, which is going to happen as well in the very near future, man, because this place, America, will not be healed. As the scriptures have said, things is only going to continue to worsen for this country as well as the entire earth itself. But chiefly this place, America, man, So I'm going to finish reading. I'm going to go on down to verse 10. It said, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. Verse 11, but I will bring them with the mighty hand and the stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before. Because we know the Lord smote ancient Egypt with a lot of plagues, pestilences, all type of various things he did to ancient Egypt. It tells you about that in the book of Exodus, how the Lord smote ancient Egypt with plagues. You see? And guess what? As I just read, he's going to smite modern Egypt with plagues, you see, which is this place, Babylon, the great America, spiritually Sodom and Egypt. He's going to smite this place with all type of plagues, just like he smited ancient Egypt. And what's coming to this place? Pestilence, famine. You see, all type of various different things. These are those plagues that the Lord is going to send, man, ultimately to bring forth judgment. Right? Just like he did upon the ancient Egyptians, right? He brought judgment on them by the plagues that he brought down upon them, man. And he's going to bring plagues and punishments upon these people here in these times, you see? But I'm going to finish reading. It says, verse 11 again, but I will bring them with the mighty hand and the stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before and would destroy all the land thereof, right? And that's eventually what's going to be the end of this place, America. The Lord is going to ultimately destroy all the land thereof, you see, by the way of those thermonuclear missiles, those ICBMs, you see, and the laser beams of the chariots. But before that happens, the Lord is going to already be, bombarding this place with all type of various different things before that happens. That's going to be the final plague, which are those missiles. But this place is going to already be getting attacked on all sides through everything that the Lord is going to be unleashing, you see. And I'm actually go down to verse 49 in 2nd Esdras 15, because as I said, the Lord is sending all of these things to bring forth judgment, man. That's why he's sending these plagues, man, right? It said, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, right? That's coming, which you got a lot of women out here that don't have men, you see. Poverty, right? Poverty, which you see happening already here in America. You got a lot of people that are impoverished. People don't have jobs. Everybody getting laid off because you got AI coming in and taking over the job force. So a lot of people are homeless. You see, all of these are the plagues that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is bringing. You see, and like I said, it's going to get worse. It says, verse 49 again, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine. Right? That's coming in the near future, man. You're going to have a lack of bread. The Lord said he's going to break the staff of bread in here in this place, Egypt, America. He going to stop food from coming in. You see? So, hey, these American people are really about to feel the wrath of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And the only ones that are going to be protected in the time with these plagues that are going to be brought forth are the Lord's remnant, man, the elect. They're going to be the only ones the Lord is going to keep in these times with all of the destruction and evil that's about to come upon this earth, man. You see? And we pray and hope that we're a part of that number. You see? Yahweh Ratazah, But I'll finish reading it again. It says, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, right? To waste our houses with destruction and death. Those are the things that the Lord is bringing, man. And I'm actually look up the meaning to that word pestilence as well on the AI overview on Google, which I'm pretty sure a lot of brothers and sisters already know what they are, but I'm going to just look it up, And this is the meaning of the word pestilence. It says a fatal epidemic, right? Disease, especially, a plague, right? So I'm going to go down to some similar words. It goes into a plague, right? A disease, a sickness, a contagion, an infection, right? A pandemic or a plandemic, and that's pretty much it, But like I said, these are the things that the Lord is going to bring in these times. And that's why it's no coincidence you got all of these things happening, man. You see, and then guess what? It's going to continue to get worse. Like I said, man, you see, because we're living in the time of the end, man. And the Lord is the one about to bring all of this destruction and chaos, man. You see? So bear with me. I'm going to actually go to 2nd Esdras chapter 16, you see. And I'll start at verse 17, right? Because this is ultimately what's coming in these times, man. And this is how bad it's about to get out here all throughout the four corners of the earth. But chiefly here in America, Babylon the Great, these are the things that the Lord is about to bring down the pipeline. It says, woe is me who would deliver me in those days. And this is ultimately the prophet Esdras when he received a vision from the Heavenly Father that was given to him through the angel Uriel. He ultimately seen how bad things got here in this place, America. He seen how it was when these pestilences were running rampant, how you had a lot of people just ultimately perishing from all of these things, the famine, the teeth of wild beasts, the sword. People were just, it was crazy out here, man. And that's what's coming to America. That's what's coming to this place soon come in these latter times that we're in. As it tells you in 2 Timothy 3:1, there's knowing also that in the last days, perilous times shall come, which that word perilous goes into times that are dangerous and hazardous, man, risky. And we're definitely in the beginning stages of some definitely very dangerous times, man. As the scriptures have said, Matthew 24:21. We're in the beginning stages, as it says, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. Verse 22 tells us, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. So that's just going to show you how bad truly it's about to be out here, man, in these times. That the Lord literally got to speed up the time for the elect, his remnant's sake, because no flesh will be saved. That's how bad it's about to get out here, all throughout the four corners of the earth. It's about to be, very deadly out here soon come, man. And these are the things that we're warning and prophesying and telling our people about, man, and ultimately to be seeking the Lord. You see, because like I said, things ain't going to get back better like most people would think, man. It's only going to get worse. You see, people getting laid off left or right, your job closing down, you not being able to feed your family. Hey, all of that's going to become the norm. You see, evils are going to be the norm in this place, America, and throughout the earth. That's all people are going to be accustomed to seeing, man, because that's all the Lord is bringing in these times. right? Matthew 10:34. Think not that I'm come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword, man. Representing destruction and death. That's what's coming in these times. And I'm going to finish reading. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 17. It says, woe is me, who would deliver me in those days. Verse 18, the beginning of sorrows, as I read earlier in Matthew 24:8. We're in the beginning of sorrows, but guess what? These sorrows are going to rapidly increase. You see, they're going to, get worse, right? It says the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine, right? And great death. These are all of the things that are coming, right? These are those plagues. These are those judgments that the Lord is about to send out in these times, man. Right? It said the beginning of wars, right? Race wars, class wars, civil wars, World War III, everything that's coming down the pipeline, man. It says, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Right? And for the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, we're going to put our trust and hope in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, man, because, the Lord is the one that's bringing these things, you see, and he's going to protect his remnant in these times when these things happen, man, when all of these things begin to, escalate into ultimately to get worse. The Lord is going to care for his elect, man. You see, as it tells you in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, the Lord have care for his elect, and he's going to protect them in these times with everything that's ultimately about to be sent from him, man. Because the Lord, as I read earlier, is bringing these things, man. But he's going to make sure that these things do not touch his remnant, that they're going to be spared, they're going to be protected. But for the majority of our people, 2/3 of Jake, these heathens, these people are in for a rude awakening, man, with the thing the Lord is about to do in these times, man. With everything that's about to happen, you see. And I'm actually read Psalms chapter 91, you see, just, bringing that chapter out through the Spirit, because it goes into detail on in these times how the Lord is going to protect the elect from the things that are going to come in these latter times, man, because a lot of things are coming, right? So this is Psalms chapter 91, you see, and I actually started verse 1, and we'll read on down through the Spirit, you see. It said, but he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. And what is the secret place of the Most High? That's in his word, in these scriptures, you see. It says, verse 2, I will say of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, he is my refuge, my fortress, my power, in him will I trust. Right? You go into the meaning of that word refuge, it basically goes into a place of security and comfort. And that's what the Lord is going to be in these times for his elect, man, in the midst of all of these terrible things that are about to come down the pipeline, all of the things that are about to manifest in these latter days. The Lord is going to be with the elect, man. You see, they're going to have that refuge, that protection. You see, they're going to have that divine protection from Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, you see. While, like I said, the rest of our people that are the 2/3 and the heathen, these people are going to suffer all of the things the Lord is about to bring, man. And like I said, Lord's willing, we just pray and hope that we're a part of the elect, because, of course, we don't know if we're the Lord's remnant. That's why we call ourselves the hopeful elect. But, we ultimately pray and hope that we are of that number, that we receive mercy with everything we know that's about to come down the pipeline, you see, in these times. Because like I said, we're only in the beginning, man, and things are going to continue to heat up more and more, right? But this is verse 3. It says, surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler, which is Esau, Edom, when this devil comes in with great wrath, which is also going to occur in this time. This man coming in full force with his military, his AI, his drones, everything that this man is about to unleash in these times. You see, the Lord is going to protect the elect from all of these things. You see, it says, surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler, from the noise of pestilence, right, which are those ICBM missiles, which is what's going to finish this place America off, right? It said, verse 4, he shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler, the elect being beamed up into the chariots, right? It said, thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that fly by day, right? Verse 6, nor for the pestilence, which are the sicknesses, everything that's going to be ultimately, poured out in these times. It says, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. You see, let me go to it. Verse 7, it said, 1,000 shall fall at thy side and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Yeah, man, because a lot of judgment is about to ultimately get unleashed in these times, right? A lot of death is about to come in these times. The Lord is about to judge a lot of people. It tells you that in 2nd Ezra 5, man, which I'm actually pull that out through the Spirit, man. You see, bear with me and go to 2nd Ezra chapter 5, because, these are the times that we're in, man. That's why we constantly hearken on these things through the Spirit, because this is what the Lord is about to bring, man, whether people believe it or not. These things are coming, man. You see, and we're going to keep blowing the trumpet on it, This is 2nd Ezra chapter 5. I started verse 1. Nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, which are the signs, behold, the days shall come, that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. Verse 2, but iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago. And as I read in verse 1, the days are coming where the people that dwell upon the earth shall be taken in great number. And how is that going to happen? By all of these plagues and all of these different things the Lord is going to send upon the earth, man. As I read, the pestilence, the famine, you see, the wars, the class wars, the race wars, everything that's about to come down the pipeline in these latter days. Hey, it's going to be a lot of judgment, man, that's going out. And hey, like I said, the Lord's elect is going to be spared, man, right? Protected with all of these things that are coming, So I'm gonna get back to Psalms chapter 91, and I'll start at verse 8. It said, only with thine eyes shall thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. Because these things are coming for the wicked, man, right? These pestilences, these sicknesses, the famine, everything that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is about to send upon the earth in these times, these things are coming for the wicked, which are the 2/3 of our own people and these damn heathens, man. You see, they're going to be the ones being faced with all of these different evils that the Lord is about to bring. Because as it tells you in Sirach chapter 40, which I'm going to bring that out through the Spirit, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 40. These things are created for the wicked, man, right? And that's who the Lord is going to punish with these things that he's about to bring. You see? Sirach chapter 40, verse 8, and it says, such things happen unto all flesh, both man and beast, and that is sevenfold more upon sinners. Verse 9, death and bloodshed, strife and sword, calamities, famine, tribulation, and a scourge. Verse 10, these things are created for the wicked, and for their sakes came the flood. Yeah, man, and that's exactly who Yahweh Shem Yahushua is about to unleash these evils upon in these times. The wicked, right? The 2/3 of his people that are wicked in these nations, man, these heathens. You see, they're about to feel the wrath of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man, with all of these things that are about to come. You see? So I'm going to get back to Psalms chapter 91, and I'll read verse 9. It said, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the most high power, thy habitation. Verse 10, this is the point of where I wanted to get to. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. You see, so hey, these plagues that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is about to send out upon the earth in these times, all of these different sicknesses, all these different, random things that are going to be occurring in these times. Hey, the Lord is going to make sure his elect is protected, man, with everything that's coming. You see, but for the people that are in the world, those that the Lord is not going to ultimately be dealing with among his people, the 2/3, which we pray and hope we're not a part of that lot. You see, hey, these people are about to suffer, man. You see, these people are about to experience, agony and distress and miseries, man. That's ultimately what the Lord is about to bring upon these people, man. You see, and ultimately we don't want no parts of it. You see, hence why we do everything we can to the best of our abilities to do what is pleasing unto Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that the Lord may have mercy upon us with everything we know that's about to come. Because like I said, hey, we're only in the beginning, man, and things is going to continue to heat up, right? So I'm actually end it off with this precept right here. I'm going to go to 2nd Esdras chapter 16 again, right? And I start at verse 37. It said, behold, the plagues draw not and are not slack. You see, because when something is slack, that means it stops. But these plagues, they're not going to slack, which means, guess what? They're going to keep coming and coming and coming. You see, things are going to continue to get worse, 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 and worse. As, like I said, the days, weeks, months progress, man. We're going to see more things happening, right? Especially coming into what they call the so-called New Year, 2026. Hey, it's going to be a lot of things the Lord is about to do, man, which is wonderful, man. You see? But I'm going to read verse 38. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Just like these plagues that are going to be sent in these times. Hey, it ain't going to slack for a moment. These things just going to continue to keep, amplifying and increasing, right? Verse 39, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side. And we're going to actually end it off with that. I'm going to look up the meaning to that word sorrows, right? Because this is what's coming, man, upon the earth and the inhabitants therein, right? Those that the Lord ain't ultimately with, right? Because as I said, the elect, they're going to be spared in these times of sorrow, man, right? But it's the meaning to the word sorrows. It goes into a feeling of deep distress caused by loss, disappointment, or other misfortune suffered by oneself or others. And I'm going to go down to the similar words. It goes into despair, misery, right? Gloom, right? Doom and gloom. That's exactly what Yahweh Shem Yahushua is about to bring. Doom and gloom, miseries, and uncertainty, man. You see, and anguish and torment, sorrows upon these people, man. That's the time we living in, man. You see, things ain't going to get back better, like a lot of people like to believe in their mind. That's why the Lord has set up his prophets to warn our people and to tell them of the things that are to come, and ultimately to get right with the Lord while you still can, man, before the evil days approach. Because, hey, we see everything getting worse, man, and it's only going to continue as I said, the time progresses, So with that being said, Abaratazah, Lord's willing, I pray this video be edifying to you brothers and you sisters out there that may come across this video. With that being said, we're going to end the lesson giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Quadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the great millstone, GMS, that rule well and teach well while learning the truth 100% according to the Bible. Till the next time, I'm going to say, Kwam Yasharala and Shalom to the elect. Shalom.